really gotta stop doing that. It's like embarrassing. My name is Rossi, and please, before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube page. Subscribe is super important, and also watching this video thoroughly is important. I have updates every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure you press that subscribe button. So today I wanted to talk about cars. Oh geez. I literally have a car problem. I do. I have had so many different cars in my lifetime. It's ridiculous. I wanted to talk about buying, leasing, and why you should be very conscious as to which decision you make and what happens if you break your lease early and end up being like me. Let's get into it. We will start off back when I was 15 years old. My first car was a 1985 blue Honda hatchback Accord. It was two-door and it was an automatic, but it thought it was a manual because every time I got to the red light, I'd have to like put it in neutral or else it would die essentially. After that car, I moved on to a 1991 Honda Accord. It was white, it was two-door, it was automatic, and I loved that car until I didn't get the oil changed when it told me to, and at around 120,000 miles on the way to the Playboy Mansion, it blew up. The engine blew up, not the whole car. From that vehicle, I had a 2003 white Jetta, and it was a stick. I love 5-speed cars. I'm obsessed. If I could have every single car as a manual, I totally would. But eventually it started having problems like all Jettas do, and I didn't want to invest money into, and I just didn't want to invest money into it. It was just whatever. Well, I moved on from that and I purchased a Scion XD. I did 5-year financing, I purchased it, and within 3 months, I got into a terrible accident with a semi-truck. And crazy story, I'll have to make a video about this. That car was totaled. After that, I got a brand new 2010 Honda Civic two-door. It was an automatic. I love that car so much. For like a year between the XD and the Honda, I actually was paid out by my insurance for a total loss, so that I started fresh. And then everything started to go downhill. My fascination with cars and my boredom with cars really started to kick in. I traded in that car for a 370Z, and this car was the love of my life. It was pearl, it was brand spanking new, it was a 5-speed, it was a 2-seater, two-door, and I looked hot in this car. But the reason why I ended up getting rid of it about a year later was because I was pretty much gonna kill myself in that thing because I drove way too fast in it. And from that, I got my very first Ford Mustang. It was gray. It was a hardtop. It was not a convertible. And it was brand new. Purchased it as well, just like I purchased the 370 and the Honda and the XD. After the Mustang, I was bored once again about a year later, and I decided that I wanted a convertible Mustang. I wanted black on black. I traded it in for the convertible Mustang. I had the Mustang. I finished it out through the lease, and during that time, my ex-fiance purchased me a GL 550. I wasn't really keen on it at first because it was this huge SUV. I literally hated SUVs. I was a sports car kind of gal, a Mercedes GL 550, but that car was bad. I ended up being obsessed with that car. After that car, and after my lease was up with my Mustang, I rolled over into Range Rover. My dream car was Range Rover. Oh my God, all I want is a Range Rover. Oh my God, all I want is a Range Rover. Oh, I need to go back and I need to say one thing about the black Mustang. Between the gray Mustang and the black Mustang, I did something that was totally different than I normally do. Instead of purchasing, I decided I would lease because I was talked into, you know what? I go through cars so much that it's better to lease than buy, because every time I was buying, I was just losing so much money and inheriting so much overhead that would be rolled into my new loan or note. I was talked into leasing. I finished out my very first lease, which, keep in mind, I was stupid and I paid the whole lease up front so I wouldn't have a car payment. I should have just bought the car. It was so stupid. I go back to the Range Rover. All I ever wanted was a Range Rover. Oh my God. But they came out with this car called the Evoque. And I was like, you know what? I'll go with the Evoque instead of like the Range Rover typical style. Like the Evoque's cool. It's like small, peppy, cool. Kind of an SUV, but like not an SUV. That car was garbage. 3 months after I bought it, it started having issues. It was literally in the shop on and off for like 6 months. And I ended up riding the Range Rover and trying to lemon law that. Fast forward to, I end up taking that car and I'm like, you know what, f this car. I'm over Range Rover. I'm gonna trade it in for a Challenger Scat Pack Edition. This car was beautiful and this was brand new. It had red leather interior, all the bells and whistles, the Scat Pack. It was fast, it was fun, it was sporty. I was leasing it, and as my typical fashion, a year later, I decide I'm over the Challenger. I'm completely over it. I hate it. I don't want to look at it anymore. I want to get rid of it. Get it out of my hair. What do? I decide to roll that lease over into a new vehicle. Now, this is the thing you have to know when you lease a car. If you turn it in early, you are going to have to roll that car, roll that lease into your new lease or into your new note, whatever route you decide to go. Well, you know what? I didn't care, because I was getting my new dream car, a Rubicon, a Jeep Rubicon. This car was everything I could have possibly imagined. I still am kicking myself for getting rid of this car because honestly, it was amazing. It was lifted, it had bomb tires on it, it was amazing. But what I didn't realize is my car payment was like $700 and something. The Jeep had the very basics. I didn't have a backup camera, I didn't have leather seats, I didn't have heated seats. Only thing that I had was power windows and power locks, which is a lot more than a lot of people get in their Jeeps that they have driving around on the road right now as we speak. I got the 4-door hardtop Jeep. I loved it. I would take the roof off, I would feel free, I could fit all my doggies in it and my horse junk, and it could get dirty and I didn't care because it was meant to be dirty, and I got it all souped up and I changed a lot on it and I added things and I subtracted things, and I really customized this Jeep. I loved this Jeep. I was so in love with this Jeep. I was obsessed with it until one day I woke up and I decided that I hated it. I don't know why, I just did. Let me put a little asterisk here. Sure, you know, rumor mill has had it. I do suffer from bipolar disorder. I'll make a video about that some other time. This is actually a trait that some people who are bipolar do. Make irrational decisions without thinking things through. Without realizing, hello, I've like put so much work into this Jeep, and this Jeep was literally all I talked about for like 5 years. I finally got what I wanted. It literally fit my lifestyle. I'm a barn girl, I'm an outdoor girl, I'm rugged, you know, it's dirty, it fit my animals, whatever. It was big enough, it was roomy, it was spacious, like hello. The only thing that sucked is the gas mileage. The gas mileage and the car payment blew. And at this time, when I decided I hated it, was because I went to the gas station and gas was about $5 a gallon at this point in time, and I was pissed. It literally took something that small for me to be like, what the f am I doing? I'm paying $700 and something for a Jeep that literally has nothing in it. Like, it's so basic. Ooh, wow, I have power windows and power locks. Like, what am I doing? What a waste of money. Me trying to be budget conscious because I love to save money. I love to be smart with my money. I decided that I would downgrade to a more economically friendly vehicle to try to get out of this lease. I end up rolling my Jeep Rubicon which was a very nice car. I end up going to the Jeep dealership and they're like, oh, okay, hello, you're back again? Like you were literally here a year ago? I'm like, yeah, remember me? Oh my God, I hate my Jeep, I wanna get rid of it. And they're like, what, you hate your Rubicon? And I'm like, yeah, I hate my Rubicon. They're like, are you f***ing crazy? You now wanna get rid of it. And I'm like, I know, I'm kind of a pain in the ass, I'm sorry. And they're like, all right, well, you can get pretty good money. Thankfully, Jeeps hold their value and you've done a lot of improvements to this Jeep and you've made it really kind of cool. Here's the vehicles you can get. I had this like great idea in my mind. I was looking at one of those murmur, like, I want a Jeep Renegade, blah, blah, look at me. I literally wanted to go from a Rubicon to a Renegade. The salesperson was looking at me like I was out of my mind. Granted, he doesn't know that I really am out of my mind because I'm in a manic episode. He thankfully talks me out of the Jeep Renegade and he's like, no, you want to get either the Cherokee or the Compass. And I'm like, I want to save as much money as possible. I want the lowest car payment ever. And I sound like a total Karen and I'm like, I need to speak to your manager. I need a car payment that is $500 or below. Literally, I'm not giving you my Rubicon. And the guy's like trying to tell my husband like, dude, we should talk her into keeping her Rubicon. And he's like, good luck. And I'm like, no, you know what? Let me test drive the Compass. I test drive the Compass and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like totally in love with this car. And I'm like totally manic out of my mind. And I'm like, la 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 la, I love making irrational decisions. I ended up getting the Jeep Compass. It's been 9 months that I've had it. I loved it. Oh my God, it's so fuel efficient and it's cheap. It cost me like $30 to fill up gas. And then I realized that it's too small and that I really miss my Jeep and that I should have just waited for my Challenger lease to be up so I could have bought the new Jeep Gladiator because I've been in love with that thing since the day I drove off with my Rubicon. Needless to say, the moral of this story, where this video is going, is if you're going to get a vehicle, I suggest you think about, are you the type of person who gets bored with vehicles? Or, and you know, you want a new vehicle every few years, or are you the type of person that keeps a vehicle until it dies? If you're the type of person that keeps a vehicle until it dies, purchase the vehicle. Just purchase it. Put a fat down payment, get your payments down as low as you can, and bam, there you go. If you're the type of person like me who you change your cars like you change your underwear, then you're probably gonna wanna lease a vehicle. And what's cool about leasing is you can honestly get some really favorable leases. I mean, I've seen Mercedes go for like $350 a month, which is cool because honestly, you don't want a Mercedes when it starts having problems. Like, it's too expensive. You just don't. So if you're like me and you make irrational decisions and you have manic episodes, make sure you think it through because now you're gonna end up being like me, 9 months into my lease, and I really am considering getting like a Jeep Gladiator, but I know that the payment's gonna be like so much. Do I wait until my lease is up in 2.5 years? Yeah, I'm only 9 months into my lease and it's a 3-year lease. Or do I just bite the bullet, put a shit ton of money down, and actually buy the Jeep Gladiator and stop the whole process of getting a new car every freaking other day? Make sure you consider this before you buy or lease a car. All right? I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for tuning in and we'll see you soon. Bye.